Who are you and what do you do?
All right, I'm Simon. I work for Blackflag Brewing, which is a new brewing company that's just starting in Mooloolaba. And basically, we're just made up of a group of good guys that have come from brewing backgrounds, working in bars, owning bars. We've got a street artist involved as well, and we're just basically trying to sort of emphasise the fun of the brewing industry. You know, that's kind of what we want to do. We see a lot of people, everyone's working hard sometimes, and I think we forget about, you know, how fun it is and how it's supposed to be. You know, it is a good industry.
It is.
We all get tired with the workload sometimes, but we just really want to bring that in. Just have some, just have some fun with the design works, the beers, and definitely just get the most fun as we can out of it.
So what's your favourite beer style?
Beer style? Oh, it's a hard one. Like I love like pale ale is an easy one to say because I think there's so many variations these days in the humble pale. But I also love a good lager. I love brewing lagers, but also the German style beers, your Hefeweizens, Berliners, things like that. So it's hard to say have a favourite style, but I'll probably say pale. Like that's probably my go-to. You know, a nice balanced pale ale, well hopped, can't go wrong.
What's your favourite hop?
Favourite hop? I'm going to say Nelson. It always has been.
Yeah, right.
I've always been a big fan of New Zealand hops and what they do over there. I love the big punchy American hops, but I don't know, there's something about that hop that I've always loved. Even back in the days of home brewing, it was just always made the beers just sing a little bit higher.
Do you find if you use way too much of that, you get like a diesel character?
Yeah, there is a few particular hops like that where you can go too hard on them and you experience different flavours. But I think if you get it right in combination, it just really finishes the beer out well.
What about favourite malt?
Oh, favourite malt. It's sort of hard as a brewer to have a favourite child, you know, but I'm going to say probably Cara Aroma. There's something about that. Yeah, there's something about that malt. Especially in your red beers, it sort of brings that sort of raisiny kind of flavours into it. Yeah, it's always been a little bit of a favourite.
And of course, favourite yeast and no pressure.
Favourite yeast? That's a hard one to have a favourite because depending on what you're brewing. As far as you guys go, I love the Diamond Lager yeast. Use that a lot. But then also the New England. You know, that's something that you're seeing. You guys are probably seeing a lot more people using that now.
Definitely. That and the Kolsch.
Yeah. And we've brewed with that at a previous brewery I worked at. We brewed with that, and it was we had really good results with it. I think we're in a good time now, especially with a lot of the variety of dry yeasts that are coming through. You guys are certainly playing your part in that.
Yeah, we're trying to bring out as many new strains as possible.
Yep.
It takes a long time with all the research and stuff that we do.
Oh, that's it. And you probably find that the industry's moved so quickly. It's the same with any of the suppliers, whether it be hops and malts, and everyone's pushing and wanting new things all the time. But yeah, as you know, these things take time to craft and get them available. But yeah, I think I'd probably say that the lager yeast has been the one that I've used the most and enjoyed using.
Did you go to BrewCon?
I did. I survived BrewCon for another year,
How was it?
It was good. It's always good. I love the networking side of it. Like I was saying before, people are always quite busy in our industry, but it's nice just to take that little break and catch up. And I've met people from previous years, and then you catch up again, and it's really nice. It really brings the community side of the industry out. You sort of leave the business at the door, and everyone's on the same page. It's a fantastic conference.
How do you think the availability of brewing education is, especially up here in the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, Queensland as a whole sort of a little bit later to come to the party, but I think the more the demand for it, we're seeing a lot more availability of education in the southern states, which is fantastic. Melbourne's always, Melbourne and Adelaide have always been sort of leading the charge there, and over in WA. But I think now we're seeing a lot more in Sydney and Brisbane now as well, which I think's good. I think it's needed, and because the demand it's sort of moving in the right direction.
What's your worst brewing mistake? I mean, you were telling me a couple just before. Seems to be a bit of a list.
Oh, the worst brewing mistake. Yeah, like I was saying before, I think I've pretty much ticked every box a mistake now. So qualified mistake maker. But I don't know. I think that hot volcano recently scared me the most.
I saw the roof.
Yeah. So that I'm going to say that was probably the worst, because it had that sort of danger factor, you know, and you never want to put yourself in danger in the brew house, and they are dangerous areas to work. But yeah, I think that one for me, I watched the security footage back and it did shake me up a little bit. So yeah, making mistakes on brew day and things like that, you can sort of overcome that and move forward. But yeah, simple, like the silly mistakes are probably the ones that hit home the hardest.
So what do you think? The tank was overfilled for a bit more yield, or you dry hopped way too early during fermentation?
Yeah, it was. I did push the limits on brew day and got as much as I could in there. And yeah, just not thinking there was carbonation in the beer. I've done it 100 times before, no problems, but that was
the
just...
sidearm closed?
Sorry?
Sidearm closed?
Sorry?
Like, was it locked up?
Yeah.
It was locked up?
Yeah,
okay.
So just, simple mistake.
Yeah, hectic.
Yep. But thanks for bringing that up. I think you've all got to, sometimes you don't really learn properly until you bugger something up. So it's all learning, it's all moving forward. It'll never happen again.
Well, that's it. You got to learn from it and put safety measures in place so those things don't happen again.
Yeah.
Explain that when you have new people on the team,
Well, that's right. And even afterwards, when I was assessing it, like, I knew if I watched anyone else do that, I would have stopped them. But just a bad day, not thinking straight, and there we go.
What about worst infection, and what did you do to fix it?
Worst infection. I've actually been pretty lucky on the infection side of things, just through good processes. Apart from maybe crashing beers a little bit too soon in the past, maybe getting a little bit of diacetyl as faults. Infection-wise, I've never really had to overcome that problem. There was a brewery I worked at years ago, and we used to just rack, if beers went a little bit sour, we'd rack them off and give them time, and then we'd use them to blend with our sour bases. So I guess you can sometimes make good out of a bad thing, but at the same time, if a beer goes bad, it's sometimes better just to send it down the drain, free up the fermenter space, and just move forward.
It's tank turnaround time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think a lot of people because you put a lot of money goes into the ingredients and the time it takes to brew it, so you don't want to send stuff down the drain, but sometimes you've got to take that high road and send it down, start again.
What do you think everyone is doing right and wrong in the industry right now?
People are doing right. I think there's a lot of right going on. I think people are really pushing beer styles. I've seen a lot of new styles sort of formulating over the past few years. I think everyone's marketing is really stepping up. Everyone's sort of pushing the boundaries there, especially with packaged products. They want to stand out in the fridge, which I think is fantastic. So I definitely think what people are doing right, the beers, the quality of the beers, as you know as well, like a lot more attention to the lab work and that side of things. So there's a lot going right, and the wrong side's probably just what they're not doing on the right side. Like they either haven't quite worked as hard on their consistency or their lab side of things. But I think overall, I think there's probably definitely more positives of things moving in the right direction. than
It's come a long
than
way.
not. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was probably only a few years ago where someone that doesn't normally drink or stray too far from what they normally drink wouldn't go near a new craft beer. But people are a lot more willing to try new things now because the quality is there. They're not being turned off. So yeah, I definitely think the positives outweigh the negatives in what everyone's doing at the moment, and it's really great to see where Australia's at now. Obviously, we've got a lot to learn from where like America and Canada are. Even New Zealand are doing some fantastic things over there, really ahead of the game. And it's nice to see Australia just learning from that and moving it forward.
I think that's it, man.
Excellent.
Which way do we go back?
Um,
To Yui, around that roundabout over there?
yeah, that's probably the go, eh?
Sweet, man. That's the end. Turn the aircon back on.